Warning, warning, two idiots are perusing the library's contents. Please be quiet and do not disturb your fellow readers.
Hello and welcome back to Discovering SCP. You'll notice I have more energy. That's because I just went fucking rabid in this voice chat.
Yeah, you guys have no idea the chronicle of videos we just went through. It was pretty intense. So, welcome back, Discoverers, by the way.
Never search Vid Chronicles on YouTube. Worst mistake of my fucking life.
Don't watch Vid Chronicles. It's like Darman up to 3000. It's insanity.
But we are back.
You know what I like to imagine? You know how there's like the plot in TV shows about like the sketchy group of kids at school? There's like the Darman watchers, those are the normal kids, and then the bad kids are the Vid Chronicles watchers. Come on, you have to check out this video. Son messes with husband's wife. Oh my god. What am I even going on about? So quick news before I ask Tan the famous question. This episode is being recorded before episode 88 is released due to some time conflicts. So this week there will be no comment reading. Well, there will be, but what it's going to be is Tan and I
not reading your worthless thoughts in this episode.
Tan and I will just be anticipating what comments will show up on episode 88.
I can predict your comments. Shall we do that at the end? Like predict?
Yeah, that's what we're going to do at the end. But after this week, we should be able to read comments again. It's just some time weirdness. So we'll be predicting your comments.
We won't be able to tell the difference because we'll predict these perfectly.
Yeah, well the thing is, this video won't release till the last one does and you guys comment, so we'll be able to compare how accurate we are after the fact. It'll be very interesting. But without further ado, Mr. Tanhoney, how many articles do we have today?
We have one article.
Oh shit, it's a long one, isn't it?
Yeah. You thought you were sitting down for an ordinary episode of Discovered SCP, you fucking idiot. You haven't.
Damn. Well, toss me the link. I hope it's Wanderer's Library again, Smile.
So, this episode 89 of Discovered SCP, we're going to be reading SCP-6000, The Serpent, the Wanderer's Library by Rounderhouse.
With this, we'll be officially able to read every SCP on the wiki.
Enter the post game at last. It's the final boss.
Wait, for 1,000 SCP, it doesn't even have 1,000 upvotes. That's crazy. I'm giving this one an upvote.
This says a lot about society.
I'm upvoting it before I read it. If I dislike it, I'll downvote it later.
Are we ready? This is the final boss.
Yeah, I'm ready. So this is the guy who overthrew you, right? Like, you're not important anymore because of Rounderhouse?
Well, I don't know. Compare the ratings, that's all I'll say. But let's get into it.
Holy shit. Alright, spin us off.
So, by order of the Overseer Council, the following file is level 4/6000 classified. Unauthorized access is forbidden. Submit for retinal ID confirmation. Welcome back, Director Moose. Notice from the Foundation Records and Information Security Administration. The following two files were found in the SCP-6000 slot when it was automatically pre-generated as an empty placeholder by SkipNet on June 25th, 2022. No file history was available. Due to the content therein and the questionable circumstances of discovery, the O5 Council has elected to leave this file unaltered. None of the events that follow have occurred in baseline reality. The coordinates listed as the location of SCP-6000 contain nothing of note. Maria Jones, Director, Writer.
Okay, so we have two files, and neither of them are real. Then again, it does say this is in 2030, and this was uploaded in 2022 based on the file, so maybe it's a future event?
Maybe. Well, let's get to see what happened on January 7th. Let's find out.
January 7th, 2030, you mean? Oh my god, it's a whole other page. Whoa, dude, spinning logo? This is already better than 5000. Look at these graphics.
I didn't need any bells and whistles, just the text on the page.
Project Fuselage.
Because I don't know how to make it spin. Project Fuselage. SCP Foundation / Global Occult Coalition / Junk Clearance File. Passcode. The Guardian is the Serpent's place.
Hey, that's not a good password. It's got spaces in it. And also no numbers.
And also there's no asterisks. It should be asterisk, 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 space, asterisk, 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 asterisk.
That'd actually be pretty smart.
Level 4/6000 classified. Item number, SCP-6000. Object class Keter. And we have two images here of 6000 and 6000-A. What are we seeing right now?
Well, 6000 looks like a Joel Haver video. It's like a forest, but it's all like blurry and has like staticky rainbow stuff. But it's mostly just the forest. And then 6000-A looks like... Well, I was about to say it looks like a big snake, but I just realized like the top half is like a woman's half, I think? maybe a man, humanoid top half. It's like all snake, and then there's like a head and arms.
Interesting.
And hair, like human hair. Ooh, that's so gross. A snake with hair? That's not right.
Special containment procedures. Current protocol regarding SCP-6000 is to conceal its existence by any means necessary, hence the rating, I assume. As the information Fuselage Foundation resources are to be primarily dedicated to disinformation and concealment, while a permanent containment or destruction solution is devised.
Hold on, should we get Rounderhouse in the call?
No.
Okay. Because I think he's available right now.
We're like 10 minutes in. It's too late to get a guest.
All right.
Any unauthorized individuals entering the SCP-6000 exclusion zone are to be aggressively disincentivized. I like that wording. Further containment details can be found in Addendum 6000.3. And we have an internal image of 6000 here as well.
Oh, and that's like more rainbow juice over a forest.
Yeah. Description. SCP-6000 is a massive dimensional extrusion centered at... in the Amazon rainforest in Brazil. SCP-6000 represents the largest Class W transportation gateway, colloquially known as a way, ever encountered by the Foundation. Do you remember ways, Daniel?
What?
Remember ways?
Yeah, those are like the portals to the library.
Yeah, so it's the largest one ever encountered by the Foundation.
Damn.
SCP-6000 currently measures 19 kilometers from its northeast to southwest point. The area directly affected by SCP-6000's presence is significantly larger, and a temporary security perimeter has been established around the area at a diameter of 8 kilometers, designating the exclusion zone. SCP-6000 is growing at an unstable rate.
Hold on, I just noticed something in the image I missed the first time. In the weird snake person image, a couple of things. First, there's like markings in blood or red paint all over the rocks that, because this is the 1000, I'm assuming have some deeper like meaning, and it's like a puzzle. And also, the tree has books in it, like library books.
Oh.
I didn't notice that shit at first.
SCP-6000...
Is that in the original, the books? Yeah, it is.
SCP-6000 is growing at an unstable rate. Its presence has an adverse effect on plant and animal life in the exclusion zone. The degree of this effect, along with the size of the exclusion zone itself, increases proportionally with SCP-6000. SCP-6000-A is a sapient semi-Ophidian organism discovered within the exclusion zone during initial reconnaissance of SCP-6000.
And I just looked it up. Ophidian is like reptile, so it's like semi-reptile.
See Addendum 2. It was found in a comatose state surrounded by human corpses. -A's connection with 6000 is under investigation. See Addenda. SCP-6000 connects baseline reality with the extra-dimensional location known as the Wanderer's Library. The Wanderer's Library was first encountered by the Foundation in 1955, but evidence suggests it has played a crucial part in the development of human civilization since at least the beginning of recorded history. See Addendum 1.
Wait, hold on. I just realized, remember when we were reading the library, the lore bit was like serpent's hand, and this thing's a giant serpent. Do you think?
SCP-6000 first appeared on December 21st, 2030, the summer solstice. Real-time satellite images of the Amazon rainforest suddenly displayed a significant visual anomaly, and a reconnaissance team was deployed to inspect the area. Addendum 6000.1. Why don't you tell us about the Wanderer's Library, Darnell?
Oh, shit. Okay. Wanderer's Library briefing. Sorry, I was like in the middle of a yawn. The Wanderer's Library designated, and I'm not saying that as like a dig, by the way. I was literally yawning. That's not like me trying to be. I think designated NX-001 is an extra-dimensional Y-space comprised of a massive library of unclear size and boundaries, which contains a potentially infinite amount of books, treatises, essays, and other forms of media and knowledge. Its collection purportedly covers the sum of all knowledge, but with a specific focus on elements of thaumaturgy and magic. The Foundation has been aware of the library since 1955, when the group of interest known as the Serpent's Hand inadvertently exposed the location to agents. The library is maintained by librarians, entities that range in size and shape, but are typically heavily modified humanoids specialized to the service and protection of NX-001. Those who break the rules of the library are subject... Why is it NX, by the way? Is that in any other articles? What's that mean?
It is. So I believe it's like Nexus. It's like a location where a lot of anomalous shit happens.
Okay.
So it's like the first...
Those... I gotcha. Those who break the rules of the library are subject to being transformed into librarians to work off their debt. This fate has befallen a number of Foundation personnel. Does this imply that you can unbecome a librarian when you've done enough work?
I don't know.
NX-up-00... That would be very interesting. NX-001 is like a guy. Oh, that should be in the Wanderer's Library, like an article about like a librarian who finally gets to become human again, but they go back and so much time has passed, everyone they know and love's dead, and like the planet's in shambles. They're just like going good. Around. Someone should do that. Those who break the rule, those who break the rules of the library are subject. Okay. NX-001 is closely connected to GOI-014, the Serpent's Hand. The Hand are known to use the library as a meeting and staging point for operations due to the relative safety it offers. Numerous attempts have been made by Foundation and GOC forces to penetrate into the library, but almost all have failed. The Foundation, along with the GOC and Chaos Insurgency, were originally barred from the library due to the library's opinions on those who attempt to suppress the abnormal, but have in recent years relaxed their stance. Site-19 director Tilda Moose has had extensive experience with the Wanderer's Library and the Serpent's Hand as a former Type Blue entity, and has given several security briefings on the topic. What's a Type Blue entity?
It's like a wizard.
Oh, okay, that's dope. Begin excerpt. Moose. Extra-dimensional is the technical term, though not very descriptive. The library isn't on our world, though it's connected to it. You reach it through ways. Ways are a network of, basically, magic portals that take you from one place to another. They're scattered around the world. A way could be anything you can picture as a door, or anything like a door. A cave, an archway, the back of a truck. Some of them are just art pieces. I once used a picture of a door to enter the library back when I still could. Oh yes, I used to be a library goer. That was a long time ago, though, back when I ran with other groups. Yeah, I suppose otherworldly is the best word for it. Nothing quite compares. The architecture and decorations they're not alive, but they're mutable, always changing. When I frequented, the place was on an Art Deco kick. You could look up and see the constellations on the false ceiling. That all ended when I joined the Foundation, though. The library does not like us, to say the least. Especially not me. No, I would not like to talk about it. Moving on. Okay, and we're Moose right now reading this, right?
Yes.
That's whose access we gained? Okay. I'm going to pop it back over to you for Addendum 2.
Addendum 2, Initial Encounters. Unexplained event reports. We've got an aerial shot of 6000. I believe it's a bigger version of the one at the top. Location, Amazon Basin, Brazil. Status, ongoing. Time, 11:49 a.m. local time, December 21st, present. Destruction Clash.
What does connect mean?
It's destructive. I don't know which one that was.
Gotcha.
Large visual and spatial anomaly, 0.5 kilometers in length, resembling an iridescent rip in space. Nearby flora and fauna altered in shape, colour, composition and size, increasing in alteration by proximity to anomaly. Long-range visual surveillance suggests there's a way leading to the library, but significantly larger than any previous encountered. Physical confirmation required. Suggests immediate containment team and specialised attachment of MTF Sigma-3. Edit. It's really beautiful, you know. Communication from the three-man reconnaissance team ceased after this transmission. A ResCon team and a fire team from MTF Sigma-3 bibliographers were immediately deployed to the location. SCP Foundation, try not to send a funny named MTF team challenge.
Yeah, has there ever been like a normal MTF name?
I don't know, there's always got to be a joke.
At least these guys were on their Sigma grind.
Yeah. They found the surveillance team's equipment and supplies, but none of the three members. Tracks moving away from the site indicated that they had gone into what is now the exclusion zone. While searching for the missing reconnaissance team, personnel discovered the corpse of 12 unknown individuals dressed in robes at the foot of a thaumaturgic ritual circle. At the centre of the circle was SCP-6000-A, coiled and in a comatose state. The entity was quickly airlifted into containment at Facility 57. In the interim, one of the fire teams was outfitted for an expedition to SCP-6000. Due to her extensive experience with NX-001, Waves, and the Serpent's Hand, Director Moose was flown in from Facility 57, where she was on an administrative visit to accompany the fire team.
Oh, and there's a file in here.
Yeah, there's a script.
Oh, this is a long-ass article, I'm realizing. Yeah. Alright, who do you want to be in here? We've got Adam McMillan, Tilda Moose, Nera Flores, and Esteban Bardem.
I'll be 1 and 4. You be 2 and 3.
Gotcha.
And I guess I'll be Commands 2.
Alright.
Getting approached to SCP-6000. No sign of the recon team. Copy that. Chicago cuts through the tree line, advancing through the thick foliage.
Wait, you guys hear something?
Chicago freezes. Indistinct noises can be heard faintly.
It's coming from the anomaly.
You're still a click and a half out, Chicago. Copy. Keep moving. Chicago intends to advance through the jungle.
There's something wrong with the air command. It's all shimmery, like an oil slick. It's like an oil sheen on the plants. I've never seen anything quite like it.
Taking sample photos. Look at this. A large portion of the tree trunk extending several dozen feet high has been transfigured into a bookshelf. There are no books present.
When did that happen?
It's still happening. Look! The tree's originally named, what the fuck is this voice? Undergoing the it's fucking Agent Michaels!
He's back, baby!
Undergoing the same process as the bark and wood disintegrate to form natural bookshelves.
This definitely isn't a normal way.
Eyes up, folks. We're about to break over the ridge, Command. Copy that, Chicago. You are clear.
Holy shit! Hold on!
Chicago 1 adjusts his body camera. A large swathe of the forest has completely disappeared and been replaced with a large cut in space leading into an empty wing of NX-001. No books are on the massive shelves and no entities are visible inside.
It's empty. That's new.
What the hell? Weird. Command, permission to investigate. What a weird champ. Stand by. Mission granted, but 2 is going to have to stay outside. Don't want to risk pissing them off.
Of course. Roger.
Chicago 3 shrugs off her assault rifle and sidearm, laying him on the ground. Chicago 2 draws her handgun. Chicago advances into the clearing, the boots clunking. Ugh! He kicks the dirt on the ground. His boot hits something hard. It's hardwood. Just covered by dirt. What the fuck is going on here? Chicago approaches 6000's edge, looking inside. Hello? Anyone there? Permission to move in, Command. Permission granted. Be careful. Chicago steps through 6000, arriving on the other side. Chicago 2 remains on the Earth side. Command, you read? Loud and clear. Anything? It's totally empty. I don't like this.
This place feels different from the library.
I thought that was just me.
No, definitely different. Look at the ceiling. There's no roof. It's just dark. The shelves are unvarnished.
It's unfinished. I didn't realize that could happen. Distantly, a large noise is audible.
A large nose.
The defensive position just comes out of the darkness.
Kevin Bacon. Hello.
Oh, shit! A massive red millipede passes between 2 shelves ahead, ignoring Chicago. Its pincers skitter. Archivist, even. Please advise. You are authorized to attempt to peacefully engage. Air support has been scrambled from Facility 57 as backup. Copy.
That's a whole new voice for command.
Hey, hello? Entity turns to Chicago and screeches, slamming its pincers together. A feminine hiss is heard.
I see you're in... Oh, you got this. No, you got this.
Well, let's both do it like it's a creepy voice. They speak at the same time.
Okay. I see your intentions. Be gone!
Wow, it's like I'm really there. Anomalous, is there any way you can, like, sync those up?
Anomalous will make it happen somehow.
Several Class 3 librarian entities clamber over the tops of nearby shelves. They are humanoid arachnids with elongated bodies, 4 eyes, and additional limbs. They wear the uniform of the reconnaissance team. Oh, Jesus! Hey, we've done nothing wrong. We haven't broken the rules. What is this? The librarians begin descending the shelves and advancing. Chicago begins to move backward, closer to 6000.
Guys?
Pull out now! Go! Chicago turns and runs towards 6000, several dozen meters away. The librarians drop to the ground and lope along in pursuit, considerably faster but farther away. One catches up to and tackles Chicago 4, bringing him to the ground. Chicago 2 draws her handgun from the other side and fires into NX-001. No, Agent Michaels! Fuck! Help!
No!
Chicago 3 turns and rushes to aid him. I hope they get him, punching the librarian in the jaw. Several Class 2 librarians, hooded entities several meters high, holding lanterns, round the corner. Chicago 3
I'm not sure if a millipede
1.
would have a jaw. I'm gonna have to look into that.
But they do. Around the house she said so.
You're right.
That's you.
What? Oh. What the fuck are you waiting for? Run! Wait.
Chicago 1 turns and runs with librarians less than a metre behind him, throwing himself through 6000 just as two 8H-1Z Vipers from MTF Delta 45 roll in thunder, swoop into the clearing, laying suppressive fire near 6000. Chicago 1 and 2 are repelled up and safely recovered.
Rounder, on that last line from Chicago 3, that should have a question mark, buddy. I'm gonna have to downvote this for grammatical screw-up, but maybe you could do better
I'll
next
take care
time.
of this. I punched Darnell through the chest and my fist comes out the other side because it was so forceful.
Ow! It hurts.
Don't do it again.
So I closed out of that file to go back to the reading, and I zoomed down all the way to 0.7 addendum. There was a lot. This is a long article. Are we going to be able to do this in one episode?
Yeah, we are. The sudden unprovoked hostility from NX-001 and transformation of the reconnaissance team into librarians... Why the fuck did I say it that way? Librarians. A punishment typically reserved for serious breaks in NX-001 law prompted an emergency council meeting the next day while Delta 45 maintained the security perimeter at SCP-6000. Chicago 1, Agent Adam McMillan, and Chicago 2, Director Tilda Moose, were evacuated to Facility 57, the ad hoc organizational facility for the containment of SCP-6000. Addendum 3, the containment response.
We are not even halfway down the page, and there's a second file.
Due to its relatively remote location, the threat posed was not as significant as it could have been. Nevertheless, the possible threat of a permanent large Class W way on Earth was significant. On December 23rd, SCP Overcom, then known as Overwatch Command, authorized the first
Overwatch?
Yeah, like the Overwatch Council.
I didn't know SCP had Overwatch.
That's
Can
what
I
the
play
O stands for. I'm being serious.
Wait, really?
Yeah, it stands for Overwatch.
Oh, like Overwatch 5?
Yeah.
Dude, do you think they're all Overwatch characters? Like Winston's just in the Shadow Cabal room? and the hamster guy?
I'm not a monkey. Authorized the first series of containment and mitigation protocols for the in-situ containment of SCP-6000. These were packaged together as Project Fuselage, which included the designation of Facility 57 as official containment facility of SCP-6000, the construction of a fence around the exclusion zone to deter wildlife and travellers, the requisition of resources for the long-term study of 6000, the arrest of known cells of GOI-14, Serpent's Hand, 1984, the authorization of members of MTF Sigma-3 to aggressively seek out means of combating NX-001.
Did you say 1984?
I did, yeah.
In regards to what?
Arresting the Serpent's Hand, they just want to chill, man.
That's fucked up. You're right.
And then we have a council vote. So the only person who said nay was 0504. That fucking
What are they
dickhead.
voting on?
What we just read was containment protocols.
Oh, okay. That seems all pretty standard. Why would he naysay that?
He didn't like it, I guess. Shortly after this, SCP-6000-A awoke from its comatose state during preliminary examination by medical personnel at Facility 57. It immediately attacked, but was quickly disabled by security guards. While in containment, -A repeatedly referenced the Wanderer's Library and the Serpent's Hand. Due to her status as the senior personnel with the most experience regarding NX-001, Director Moose was authorized to perform investigative interviews accompanied... Rounderhouse, that's as accompanied.
Rounderhouse, you better edit this. This is supposed to be the 1,000 winners.
Rounderhouse.
So, maybe get to work.
To gain information on the subject.
Alright.
You get a lot of mileage out of this picture.
Yeah. Are you the serpent or are you the moose?
You've already been Moose, so I guess I'm the serpent.
Alright, I might change the voice though, because I forgot which one was her.
Choose two.
Hello?
Jayla. Slang used by members of the Serpent's Hands refers to the Foundation.
Wow, I haven't been called that in a minute. Your hand, then?
No. Maybe. I cannot remember.
I see. What do you remember?
Floating in a void, dreaming, sitting under an apple tree, hearing
Newton?
something whisper stories into my ear, then waking up here on a cold metal table surrounded by men with knives.
Sorry about that. So you don't remember how you found yourself like this?
No. Is there something wrong with my appearance?
Oh, you'll, take a look for yourself.
Moose points at a mirror on the wall. -A touches its face gingerly, running its fingers up and down the scales. Oh.
So you didn't know. Okay.
No, this is new. The voice did say it would mould me its image, but...
What voice?
I don't know how long I was dreaming, but it was with me the whole time, dangling from the branches of the tree, murmuring tales and stories and myths. Stories about the jailers, the book burners, the library itself, but you wouldn't know about that.
I do, as it happens. I've been in the library many times. Used to, anyway.
I remember being told that some jailers could enter. Why beyond me?
Various reasons. Information, travel, but there are quite a few restrictions. They're not allowed to help the rest of the Foundation contain anything.
Is that not what you are doing to me?
The situation has changed, to put it lightly.
Ah, the way, yes.
So you do know something about all this. Tell me.
And why would I do that?
Because you've been cooperative enough? Because I went in and now 6 of my people have been torn apart by the librarians? Because you still have some humanity left over? Take your pick.
A trade, a story for a story. My mind is bursting with stories, but the only way to know a story is to tell it.
SCP authors be like, what kind of story?
Why don't you tell me the story of your last time in the library?
Why do you care about that?
Because I remember the feeling of the library, but I can't remember anything about it. Maybe you will awaken something. Control instructs Moose to cooperate. I imagine just doing, like, the finger signal, like, keep it going.
Come on. Must have been 15 years ago by now. I was on the rocks with the Hand. We didn't really agree on how we should go about improving the world that we live in. There's a section of the library, the 5 archives. I don't know if you remember.
I do. Great stone vaults filled with knowledge considered forbidden, even by the library standards. Where new librarians are made, impossible to get to.
Yeah, that's what they all said. Nothing's impossible if you know the magic well enough. I spent months preparing and then set the rituals alight. Only took a few minutes and then I was inside, the staff none the wiser.
I have never heard this story. What did you do?
I took some things. Books, maps of ways, lists. Things that, if given to the Foundation, would give them a tactical edge in dealing with the library. Then I left the way I came.
You betrayed the library.
Yeah, no other way to put it.
Describe the place to me.
The library? I'm hoping you already know on some level. Trying to describe it to anyone who hasn't seen it is like trying to explain the difference between 2 colors to a blind man. It's utterly alien, foreign, beyond the cusp of understanding. It's wondrous and magic, and it's bitter and spiteful. Center of the universe.
Maybe it is.
I wouldn't be surprised. Place is infinite.
No, not infinite. Really impossibly large.
What's the difference?
It's eternally expanding as new stories are written and new knowledge is found. It expands and consumes dead stories, stories that have ended, into itself, to turn them into shells for other stories that something new might exist in their place.
Huh.
My story is about that a bit. Once upon a time, there was a little girl who woke up and found she could spin fire. She lit toys, candles, papers on fire, until men with guns kicked down the door to her tenement and tried to take her away. That was when she learned she could also light people on fire, and found it was much less fun. Then she ran and ran until she met people, street witches and miracle makers, who were just like her. They opened her door to a world where she could be herself without fear of reprisal.
The library.
Yes. She walked among the shelves and saw the docents and read every single story she wanted. But she came across a problem. Every story ended. Some were short, some were long, but they all came to an end sooner or later.
How is that a problem?
It wasn't, not really. But she couldn't stop thinking about the end of the stories and one question always ringing out. What happened after? Did the characters struggle against their end, or was it a calm affair?
I can relate, but what does this have to do with us?
I don't know. I'm still sorting through the stories. I simply pick that which seems relevant. But I'd look for the serpent's hand. They helped the girl. Maybe they can help you.
Based on the vague things people had mentioned about 6000, including like some giant world-eating serpent or whatever, I thought the serpent person was going to be a lot more evil, but they just seem kind of like they're vibing. Having a good time.
Yeah. So, Fuselage responses, Item 4. Upon A's suggestion and in line with Project Fuselage, on December 27th, 2030, SCP Overcom approved Operation Black Star, for MTFs worldwide to make simultaneous raids on the known headquarters of major serpent hand cells.
Black Star from, what's that anime called? What am I thinking of? Help me out here.
I don't know.
Soul Reaper? Soul Eater, that's the one.
I've never seen it.
Wait, really? We have to watch that sometime.
On December 28th, Operation Black Star was successfully executed.
Hell yeah.
MTF Pyre 1, City Slickers, Fireteam Dragon, Shanghai, China. Translated from...
actually, it's Dragon. Can you correct that?
Sorry. Begin log.
Right.
I'll
be
just make some
one.
Voices. Yeah, I'll be 2. I'm 3, I guess.
Ready! 2, take point!
Affirmative. 3. Ready. 3, 2, 1. Breach. Go! Clear.
Clear! They're gone!
All those voices were awful.
No, they were good. Someone make fan art of those voices.
Oh, they made those characters. I want to know what they look like. Just from those voices. Yeah. All 57 safe houses raided to be completely cleared out and were free of GOI 14 members or materials. In 30 of them, Class W gateways were and are still active, leading into the same section of NX-001 as SCP-6000. By all appearances, the Serpent's Hand had completely abandoned the planet, leaving active ways peppered across the globe. At this point, SCP-6000 had grown to 1 kilometre across, and the exclusion zone had expanded to 3 kilometres. Director Tilda Moose was asked to prepare a statement detailing their thoughts on the situation for the O5 Council. Which I'll
Statement.
To you.
I don't know what's precipitated this, but if the library's turned against humanity, the situation is going to be dire. It's a completely alien entity to us. We can't even begin to understand why it is or does the things it does. Hell, we don't even know if there's a rhyme or reason to anything. Most Foundation personnel only know of the library in the abstract, but I and a handful of others have actually stepped foot in the shelves, and we can tell you that it at once... What? The sentence is confusing.
It is at once, that should be. Round a house.
Okay. We can tell you that it is at once humanity's greatest boon and its greatest threat. Imagine how much of history has been influenced by people getting into the library and bringing back knowledge they would otherwise never have had. Now imagine how fucked we'll be if the source of all... Oh, she's cursing in a statement. Gonna get fired. Now imagine how fucked we'll be if the source of all knowledge in the universe turns on us. I don't see this story having a happy ending. But Get it?
Director Moose has been temporarily relieved of
stories.
her duties at Site-19 to consult on SCP-6000 containment efforts at Facility 57.
Right, now we're at Addendum 5.
Then Chapter 5.
This is a long fucking article. Holy shit. And my nose is all clogged up. Can I take a quick blow my nose break?
Absolutely fucking not. You better not. You better not.
Get
back
I
here.
have to. It's
Get
so
back here.
clogged.
You
Entertain the audience!
I'm chasing you. I'm chasing you like fucking Mr. X from Resident Evil. Can you believe this guy? I'm getting so fucking pissed off. I feel like I was about to vomit in anger because of what you did.
Tanhoney? Are you there?
Of course I'm here!
I'm sorry. I'm back.
Listen, the viewers are going to start listening any second. Let's go back to our usual acts, okay? Pretend we're friends.
Yes, nice.
Hi, and we're back!
Hey, what's up, guys? Well, I love SCPs.
Yeah, you better fucking love them. Fuselage containment efforts. An incident committee was hastily assembled at Facility 57 on January 19th. Members.
Oh, shit.
Director Tilda Moose, that's you. Agent Adam McMillan, that's me. MTF Sigma 5. Applied Force Liaison, Joseph Kurtz, that's you.
Yes, because Kurtz is my name.
Yeah, Jay Vasquez, that's me.
Because Jay's your name.
Yeah, exactly. No, it's not. Begin
Tanhoney, if you rearrange the letters, spells Jay Vasquez.
No, the Amazon is too high profile for that sort of thing. And we considered the Atreus Array.
Initial experiments out of the exclusion zone using SRAs on 6000 seem to have had no effect.
Damn it, what the fuck is this thing?
It's a way. Waves aren't matter, they're not quite energy. We barely understand anything about them.
Waves dissipate a few minutes after formation. It's been weeks and SCP-6000's only gotten larger.
None of the new waves have dissipated either. Something's obviously changed, like war. Yes, but what? We have no idea, no leads. Well, not no leads. Alright, the snake thing you pulled out. What the hell? Is this just me now? What the hell is that thing's story? I don't know. It doesn't remember anything before we picked it up. It's definitely more connected to the library than it's letting on. Or that it remembers. Well, keep working on it. In the meantime, we've got new reports out on the exclusion zone detailing what 6000 is doing to the flora and fauna.
It's, I don't know how to phrase this, so it's libraryifying everything around it. When I was in there, I saw the trees turning into shelves, writing appearing on the leaves. That sort of thing, I bet.
Oh, do you think that's how the library's so big it consumes worlds, and it adds them?
The animals are also being distorted and changed. We've spotted jaguars with extra limbs, birds 2 feet tall with writing all over the wings, etc. It's warping the landscape in a part of the library.
And the larger 6000 gets, the larger the exclusion zone gets. So which part's the exclusion zone? I'm confused.
That's like the area surrounding the portal.
Okay, I gotcha. Because I was like, I thought 6000 was the portal, but they're making it sound like the exclusion zone is.
That's bad news.
To say the least. That said, I have some ideas that are worth trying. Let's hope one of them works. And log.
Abused Fuselage containment attempts log. Proposed containments. Use flame and heat-based weaponry such as flamethrowers to incinerate trees affected by 6000. Results.
Hell yes.
Affected trees within the exclusion zone prove resistant to heat-based weaponry, rapidly regenerating all burned matter. Containment. Fire high-yield explosives into the mouth of SCP-6000. Explosives repeatedly fail to detonate after crossing the threshold into NX-001. Proposed containment. Train the Atreus Array, a satellite-based SRA system, so reality anchor, upon SCP-6000 at full power. 6000 exclusion zone completely unaffected.
Uh-oh.
Then we got a file.
You know what they should do? They should take the libraryified objects and turn them into like a thread and sew them in the costumes as a percentage of the fabric. And then they can harness those costumes to gain powers.
Of course.
I think that would work.
We are back for more snake talk.
Hell yes. Hi again.
Jailer.
Why do you keep calling me that? You're not Hand. You can't even remember the library.
Oh, but I can. I can remember some things now. Not everything, but hopefully it will come.
Really? What is it?
I remember being a young woman in the Demodon's hand, searching for the worship of knowledge in the library and out.
Worship? Awfully religious for the Hand, I damn well know. I ran with them for years.
Really? And now you're a Foundation director. What changed?
I don't want to talk about it. But suffice to say that I realized maybe not all knowledge is meant to be shared. Anyway, you were saying?
Yes, the Hand started out as a cult thousands of years ago. The Hand of the Serpent, a warrior cult dedicated to the worship of the serpents that created the library.
The serpent?
Knowledge incarnate, the spirit of learning. The Naga, Jormungandr, the snake in the tree. Every mythical snake iconography is said to stem from the primal serpents.
Even the devil? The devilish serpent?
The serpent, the garden is the serpent's place. That was the password.
Eat the fruit.
Exactly.
But no one knows if it is actually real.
Shh! Let me finish my story, jailer. The Hand were powerful, long-lived monks, but eventually died out, leaving their teachings behind. Theses, passages, essays on why the spread of knowledge was the greatest honour possible.
Oh, wait.
And should be done at all possible cost.
What you just said, do you think eating the fruit created the library?
I don't know whether it's that exact, but...
Many years later... do you think there's, like, some correlation between...
Yeah.
Interesting.
Many years later, people from this world discovered these writings and christened themselves the New Serpent's Hands, the one you and I know today. They shed the trappings of ritual, but the worship of knowledge as an ideal remains.
Wow, I had no idea about the origins. They never told me.
Neither did I when I joined. This is a new story, whispered to me by the serpent in my dreams.
Wait, what?
Draw the lines and connect the dots, jailer. The serpent is real. She is the spirit of the library. And in a ritual circle over an intersection of ley lines in the Amazon rainforest, I spoke to her.
And you heard stories.
And I heard stories. Of her singing the library into reality at the beginning of creation. Of her moulding its halls and then retiring to slumber under its foundations and exhaustion. Of patrons wandering down and speaking to her even now.
Wow.
And of stories utterly unrelated to her.
Do any of these stories help me? Heroes of old figuring out how to stop the library when it goes insane and out of control, bent on destruction? The library is not supposed to kill or invade, it's beyond all that. It's neutral to a fault. I just don't understand why this is happening.
No stories like that, Jailer. I'm sorry, but that's not how this story ends.
Endings are mutable.
Oh no, that's not true. Endings are set in stone, but endings don't matter anyway.
How's that?
To any observer, your story ended when you betrayed the library and came to the Foundation. But it didn't. You didn't stop existing, you just transitioned to a new narrative, one where you're the director of Site-19.
That's not a narrative, it's my fucking life.
I never finished my story, did I? The little girl read and read and read, until one day she realized she had already solved her problem. Of course they all ended, but she moved on to the next story. There were always more stories. No point in lamenting what was inevitable when she could move on.
I only wish it ran like that in real life.
Yes. All the stories I see of the Foundation staring down the end of the world, they have the book burners by their side. I suppose there's something to say there. Rivals allying themselves against a threat greater than either could imagine. Smoking ash. A fusillade of fire against a wall of trees.
Wait, a fusillade? How did you...
Go. Now.
Nani! Was that their plan, to, burn it down?
What's the name of the plan?
Oh.
Fuselage.
Bum, bum, bum.
Addendum 6. GOC inclusion. So, let me get this straight. I want to imagine a scene like this.
Oh, but some kind of...
Let me make sure I'm understanding you correctly. You say, in the Amazon rainforest, we're gonna be eaten by books?
That's a little stupid even for me. Come on now. Where's the monsters
wacky doctors?
Don't you have any book doctors?
Per 8-A statement, a vote was held on whether to declassify details of 6000, the surrounding situation, and Project Fuselage to liaisons of the United Nations Global Occult Coalition, in exchange for assistance in containing or terminating the anomaly. And the vote. And once again, 04 says no.
It's a lot closer of a vote, though.
I want him to never vote for anything.
Yeah, is that like his gimmick? Is he just votes no on everything, no matter what it is?
Diplomatic agents were deployed to the... it was approved, by the way. Were deployed to the GOC's operating headquarters in Germany for a pre-arranged meeting with material regarding the current status of 6000 and associated subjects. Upon deliberation, GOC officials inked a statement indicating interest in expanding Project Fuselage to a joint venture. Within the following days, GOC Physics, Psych, and Ptolemy Division personnel were transported to Facility 57 to aid in research and containment of SCP-6000, which had grown to 2 kilometers across. Due to the unprecedented failure of Fireteam Chicago, both the 05 Council and GOC Command authorized a mission for GOC Strike Team 9842, Probable Cause, to perform a rapid surgical strike and to attempt to gain access to Wanderer's Library and ascertain the situation from the inside.
Alright. And then we have another file with more... Oh, God. Oh, it's so many teams. Okay, who are we?
Just some military voices.
Are you... Do you want to be 1 and 4 and I'll be 2 and 3 again?
Yeah, sure.
And you can be command as always.
Moving for the forest. Copy that. This place is fucked up, Command. All the trees are stripped and filled with books.
They're empty, too. Just leather-bound blank pages. Take a sample?
Negative, Harbour. Get in, get out, ASAP.
Roger!
Contact! A large figure passes through the tree line ahead. Harbour drops to the ground, silent and unmoving. They remain there for a minute.
Clear?
Clear. What the fuck was that? Command?
We're just gonna keep doing the buzzing and noises.
You look like a librarian. Class D. KTE-D. Sorry, not used to the Gok slang. Roger. No worries, Skipper. Let's move.
You have to change Command's voice.
You're figuring it out, huh?
Coming up on the TE now. Holy shit, it's huge.
Oh, that's a picture.
Yeah, oh, sorry, there's a big rainbow picture of, so it looks like you see grass, and then in the rainbowy part you can see a library inside of it.
Yeah. Estimate, Harbour?
That's not Skipper's voice.
He's doing the command voice.
Good call. Gotta be 3.5 clicks minimum.
Roger. Any entities in sight? We're gonna moving. Harbour rushes through the tree line through 6000 into NX001. We're in. You read? Yeah. Remember, see if you can find anything or anyone who looks like can answer some questions. Roger. Going quiet. Harbour moves through the empty shelves of the library, progressively clearing corridors for several minutes. You eventually find a lectern holding a single thin book.
We'll now be reading the rest of the article, starting each line with that sound. Got something!
Harbour 3 moves to the lectern. The book's cover is green leather and has the title In Progress embossed onto it. Take it.
Do you think it's like the Book of Earth or something? It's going to be Earth Stories Ending?
The same hissing, unidentified voice from Chicago's incursion is audible. No, you are not. No, it doesn't make that noise.
Holy shit.
No, you are not.
Who said that?
Why are you here? Do not lie to me.
Fuck. Harbour, come in. We're following orders.
No, why are you here?
I don't know.
Because you wanted to see what the other side of the fade was like. Don't worry. Curiosity is a virtue. Once I saw a patron here, desperately consumed with questions about the logic of the library.
Oh, I noticed that subtle snake S-drag.
He wanted to know how infinity worked. How was it possible that the library could be truly infinite? Where did the space come from? From stories, of course. The library takes finished stories into its shelves and takes finished worlds into itself, often one and the same.
Oh, so that is what's going on. This Earth is done. It's going to become part of the library.
You are book burners, but you are pure of heart. Little children ordered around by men who hate what is going to happen to their story. You are welcome here, all of you. You survived for a reason. Both of you.
Wait, both? But there were 4 commands. What happened?
I don't know. After Harbour's signal cut out, SCP-6000 exhibited a rapid growth pattern, growing to nearly 3 kilometers in a matter of 2 hours. Foundation deep well solutions began being considered.
Guys, I don't think we're going to be able to stop the library.
Addendum 7. Veil Failure. Following Operation Harbour, several radio signals began broadcasting from 6000 and all ways found during Operation Black Star at various frequencies. The message contained therein was simply the same hissing feminine voice repeating the exact coordinates of 6000's epicenter and the phrase, "The garden is the serpent's place."
The Garden of Eden, yeah. Haha.
Within hours, the larger global community had discovered the signal, and it began to quickly accrue attention online and through the media, despite significant Foundation efforts to impede its discussion. Oh hell yeah, Parawatch!
Oh hell yes! Aethagon Gang Lead, 12931. You guys seen the pictures coming out of Brazil? MSM's probably going to get a hold of it by tomorrow and suppress the story, but it's insane. I have no clue what the hell's going on in the Amazon, but the pictures make it look like some sort of oil slick. It's kind of beautiful.
Wall Street Journal magazine, the Amazon Anomaly. Yep, turns out I'm not nuts. My friends have been hearing on their car radios and hams too. A woman's voice, sort of nasally, repeating numbers, coordinates, I think, and the words "the garden is the serpent's place." Sounds biblical. Maybe a passphrase of some sort. Now, here's the kicker. If you look at Google Earth or anything for the coordinates, everything's fine. It doesn't show anything out the ordinary. But if you use a backdoor to get into the wildlife observation cameras scattered around... The cameras went offline immediately after, but I managed to save this image. Starting to think I should go down there. This could be big.
I want to see the image.
Brazil under lockdown.
Damn. Oh, was that the image? I thought it was going to be like something rainbow.
No, I assume he had an image that just wasn't shown. He took a picture of the newspaper. Look at this. Containment efforts simply contributed to an individual's belief of a conspiracy and eventually resulted in several individuals attempting to reach the exclusion zone on foot over the following weeks. While individuals were anesthetised, the larger movement surrounding 6000 continued and is continuing to grow. The knowledge of 6000's presence in the global community seemed to rapidly accelerate its growth. In the following hours, expanded to nearly 6 kilometers across with no signs of stopping. GOC tactical nuclear solutions are being considered.
Not the nukes!
In addition, on January 21st, Agent Macmillan failed to appear to several Fuselage briefings and meetings. A search of his quarters at Facility 57 revealed a thaumaturgic ritual circle drawn into the floor. Surveillance camera footage displayed him spending an hour the night beforehand crafting the circle before performing a ritual of unclear purpose. Agent Macmillan's thaumaturgic capabilities were believed to be burned out, and disappearing from his quarters at 7:55 a.m. local time.
So, what do they mean by burned out? Is that like a typical term with like thaumaturgy and SCP? Like, you cannot use magic after a while, or is that specific to this story?
I think I've not heard it before.
Okay.
Surveillance footage from the exclusion zone showed a sudden burst of light at the same time and a glimpse of Agent Macmillan moving through the foliage, presumably to 6000. The following note was left in his quarters in a sealed envelope, addressed to Director Moose. Sorry, Dilly. I used to spend weeks in the library shelves, perusing everything I could come across. It was otherworldly in the most literal sense of the word. I'm sure you understand the feeling. The difference is that you couldn't go in. You made the choice between the library and Foundation. When I first entered, it was just a mission. I experienced something amazing, something well beyond what I thought was ever possible. I thought it was a damn shame that we looked at something so magnificent and only worried about how it might hurt us. I can see now that's not the case. The librarians are only hurting the people that try to stop the expansion. I have no intention of doing that. This is the end of the story, not the one where we somehow come up with a silver bullet to fix everything. The only thing I can do is change how I feel about it. I just want to sit in the shelves and see the false stars again. I think this is my happy ending.
Dude, I'm just thinking, how much harder would this article slap if it was like the last article ever written for the wiki? Like closing the story of the universe?
But maybe,
I know.
Maybe this could be an ending for someone. Depends on what
This is my ending. This is my canon ending.
And then we have, again, with the snake woman.
Jesus, you knew, didn't you? Jesus, well, I guess I did.
How the story would end? Of course, I've been telling you that.
What?
I told you right at the start, this isn't that kind of story. You don't find a silver bullet to fix everything, Jalia. That's not how it goes when I say it like that.
JDO. Well, I'm not gonna roll over and die. I don't know why I'm even talking to you. You sent 4 good men to their deaths.
No, I didn't. No one has died, Jailer. Weren't you listening to the serpent?
What did you say?
You already knew in your heart. Who else could it have been?
Adam, I don't know. He's abandoned the rest of us.
No, he didn't. I tire of telling you things you already know.
Then tell me something I don't know. Explain everything to me.
I wish I could. Explaining it to you would be like... You don't scream into your book when the characters frustrate you. You can't do anything. You have to watch it play out.
So what, this is just entertainment to you?
No, stories aren't always entertainment. When I communed with the serpent in search of knowledge, knowledge was what I received. Just in the form of stories. All the knowledge, every story that you could remember. The GOC's story, Adam's story, your story.
Then tell me how it ends. Tell me so I can know I did everything I possibly could to stop it.
You already know, Moose. Denial fixes nothing. I learned it as a little girl, and you learn it now. You don't get to pick your ending, you only get to choose how you take it.
So the girl was you then?
Yes. Even I didn't realise until now. The memories kept coming back. I came to that ritual wanting to know how my story ended, and I learned how this world's story ended. Lucky for me, they were one and the same.
Stories are bullshit.
Stories are all there is. This one ends with 2 people sitting in a room, talking, and then they vanish into thin air.
Sobering.
In a sense, you should be flattered.
Why in the world would I be flattered?
You left the library on your terms, and you won't admit it to anyone, but I see it written on your face. You want to see it again.
Like hell I do. It's wondrous, but everyone talks about it like it's paradise. It screwed me long before I screwed it.
Bitterness gets you nowhere.
That's true. I have work to do. Rot, then.
Addendum 8. Ongoing containment attempts. With the unprecedented failure of the Veil Protocol and the ensuing response by NX-001, the entire Amazon basin has been quarantined and placed in Foundation GOC jurisdiction under Project Fuselage. SCP-6000 has now expanded to 13 kilometers in length, and its rate of growth has increased. At the moment, plans are being drafted for a BN-class Broken Masquerade scenario.
Update to latest revision.
Let's go to it.
How long is this one?
This is the ending.
Are we at the end game?
Yeah.
Do you need me to Samwise Gamgee you through this? Like, are you tired of reading?
It's fine. SCP Foundation, Global Coalition, Joe Clearance Farrell. Passcode, the Garden of the Serpent's Place. Item number, SCP-6000. Object class, Apollyon. SCP-6000, aerial shot. That's so menacing.
Rainbow World.
Special containment procedures. Containment of SCP-6000 has failed. All Foundation/Fuselage personnel left on Earth should report to their site's HMCL supervisor to receive further instructions. We have a picture of the library as well from SCP-6000.
Oh, pleasant.
Description. This the Jedi,
Can I be real?
Jedi library?
Can I be real right now?
Yeah.
And this isn't a slander of the library and SCP, or libraries in general. I actually think libraries are awesome. But, like, that old classic wooden aesthetic of the library, like in this image, I actually hate the way it looks. It's, like, so boring to me aesthetically.
Where's the stars? I was told there would be stars.
Yeah, well, I just mean, like, I don't know. People always describe these as, like, magnificent, wonderful things. And I got pretty hyped because the library mentioned how alien it is, but it just looks like a British library.
Well, that's what I mean, it's alien.
British people aliens?
Sorry, I have to wipe my memory now.
No, but that's like, again, that's literally nothing on this article or the way it is. That's just like my personal taste.
I understand that Random House could not go and take a picture of an alien library.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I'm not knocking it for that. I'm just saying aesthetically, outside of the article, I don't like these kinds of libraries.
If you just look, this is just like the bit that's shown on camera. He turns around, it's like in space.
Yeah.
Description. SCP-6000 is a section of the Earth that has been transformed into a section of the extra-dimensional location known as the Wanderer's Library. Currently, SCP-6000 covers the entirety of the Western Hemisphere and is increasing in size. SCP-6000's transformation began in the Amazon Basin in South America and continued across the entire hemisphere in the following weeks.
There's an easy way to solve this.
Just give return the library book.
No. There's two solutions. One is to cut the planet off so that half the planet can still live without being consumed.
Why don't we just take the Earth and push it somewhere else?
Exactly. Or, the other solution, because it's not a part of the planet, is to move everyone to the moon with their 2030 technology and live on the moon.
Exactly.
See, I'm big brain.
And continued across the entire hemisphere in the following weeks, despite joint Foundation GOC efforts under the Project Fuselage banner to impede its progress. All population centres, Foundation, GOC and Fuselage sites inside 6000 are considered lost. The Veil Protocol is to be disregarded. Currently, containment of SCP-6000 involves evacuating Fuselage personnel to designated extra-dimensional backup sites. 6000 covers 58% of the Earth's surface and is actively growing. Project's projections indicate will cover the entire planet within 2 and 2.5 weeks.
I gotta be real. If you're a Foundation member, I would be bitter as fuck. Like, sure, it already sucks the world's ending, but think about it. You spend all these hundreds of years trying to contain all these things so humanity will be safe or whatever, and then your world just gets eaten and there's nothing you can do about it. You know what I mean? Kind of sucks.
Addendum 1. Final log. The following was the final audio log recovered and broadcast from Facility 57 before it was completely subsumed into the SCP-6000. While it was believed all personnel and useful anomalies had been evacuated, investigation revealed that Director Moose had never boarded any of the evacuation choppers in the chaos. After this audio file's recording, both figures disappeared from Facility 57's biometric scanners. Seconds later, the facility was subsumed by SCP-6000.
So, what happens now?
What do you mean? We wait. What else is there to do?
Nothing, I suppose. We wait.
Then what are you worried about?
I'm not sure.
You really shouldn't worry, you know.
And why is that?
Leaving this world is not as scary as it sounds.
I think you're understating what's about to happen.
What's about to happen, then? This is what always happens. This is natural.
No, to hell with that. There's nothing natural about this. The world is being eaten alive. We're sitting and watching the apocalypse and we can't do anything about it.
Do you think there's going to be anything after this?
I don't believe in God, if that's what you're asking. Anyone who works at the Foundation still believes in God has more faith than the Pope.
That's not what I'm asking. What do you think is going to happen after the way covers the world? There's just going to be nothing?
Of course, it's subsuming the world, replacing it.
That's where you're wrong.
What?
Dash A lights a cigarette with her finger.
Wait, is it like a snake creature thing?
I'd understand, Director. You know on a logical level that the sun is going to burn out one day. You go through every day of your life, through the motions, knowing that there is a shelf life on the universe. There is always an ending.
Yeah, but those...
Unnatural? The slow, agonizing heat death of the universe, watching every star go dark one by one as they no longer find themselves capable of exploding into existence? What makes that more natural than this? This has always been the Foundation's fatal flaw, an inability to adapt and survive.
That changes nothing.
It changes everything, Tilda. We all live and work knowing nothing goes on forever. But we don't let knowing there is an end ruin the story for us. And here's the part that matters. There are always more stories.
I don't understand.
The library is all stories. Where there was once one story about a Foundation and their valiant stand-down with the end of the world, there will be 1,000 million new stories and 1,000 million new worlds inside them.
Who's going to tell the SCP-6000-A that 1,000 million is a billion?
It doesn't matter. The library doesn't just connect all worlds. It is all worlds. Every world a story, every story a world, and everything that matters.
So it's not out of control. This is the end of the story, and we're becoming part of the library.
I suppose you could put it that way. Didn't you want to visit the library again? You seemed like you missed it. Agent Macmillan certainly did. Now come on, unlock these handcuffs. You don't want to miss the end of the world, do you? What?
So, what? Nothing I or Adam or anyone could have done would have stopped it? It was pointless?
The point was that the same thing that's ever been, to make new stories where there was once nothing. Be happy, Tilda. Your story is going to be remembered forever. Choose your ending, Darnell.
So I was told this was the end, and yet I was lied to, because there's... Ah! Wait a minute!
What?
If you hover below these two options, there's like a hidden one. What's
I think
this?
That's like a separate tale.
Oh, okay, never mind. I thought that was like the secret end. Alright, so I think the option that this whole article's been going to wants us to pick, you think people will read about us, and I assume that's what most people would do. So I'm going to go a different route for the podcast and say, what if I don't want news stories?
Okay, click it.
I am. Oh, we got a Wander's Library thing.
SCP-6000.
Oh, it's because we're in the library now.
Dash A smiled a snake-like laugh and waggled a finger at her for its handcuffs. Director, we've been over this. You don't get to pick the ending of the story.
Wait, how do they do this? How do they have an SCP across multiple pages that like holds the rating and everything? That's crazy.
It's crazy. I've done it a couple times. Immediately after I do it, every time I forget how to do it. She looked down. But you do get to decide how you just pick... You do get to pick how you decide to take it. You can sit down and weep that the old stories you grew to love are gone, or you can smile and move on to the next shelf. She looked back up. They weren't in holding cell B918 anymore. They were standing between two gargantuan bookshelves that seemed to go on forever before suddenly diverging into more bookshelves. Every space was filled with the span of a different book, massive tomes to paper-thin leaflets. There were people of all shapes and sizes in robes sitting here and there, perusing the collection. The sky was a black void dotted with constellations. She could smell the scent of fresh paper. Welcome home, jailer. Dash A was gone. In its place was a young Asian woman, maybe 5 feet tall, with a tattoo of a snake wrapped around a wrist on her face. She found her voice again.
How?
I've been telling you, the library is the end of your story, but that doesn't have to be a bad thing. Because you get to move on to the next story. She gestured around her, and a few of the other patrons looked up. A few shrugged off their hoods.
Adam.
And Vasquez and Kurtz and Bardem and Flores too. She even thought she saw some of the O5s in the crowd. The end isn't death, Tilly. You were stubbornly clinging to that idea for so long.
There'll be new stories? More worlds with the Foundation? With me? Everything we fought for? Everything we did?
There already are, so... She reached over and pulled out a book with a soft grey cover. The front was embossed with SCP-6000 ornate lettering. Get to reading.
Wait, why is her text green now? Or am I insane?
That's the link.
Oh, it's to Series 7. Haha.
She looked around
Cute.
the impossibly huge library. In the distance, she spotted the same giant insect that had greeted her when the fire team first went in. It waved a pincer at her.
I think this is it.
This is what?
My happy ending. So, like, when they read the stories, do they, like, go into the worlds, or are they just experiencing everything from behind a book now?
I think that's up to you. I'd like to think...
What happens if you click the other end? I'm genuinely curious.
It's the same. You don't get to pick.
What?
It's the same. You don't get
Is
to
it
pick.
really?
Yeah, that's what she says.
That's so funny to me, because even when you hover them, they say, like, offset 3 and 4. But
they're different pages, but...
That's clever. Well played, Rounderhouse. For a little bit, I wanted to give this one a 12 out of 13 for some of the grammar mistakes, and for a little bit of, like, dragging on with the MTF articles, but I think I have to give this a 13 out of 10. It was just really good. And it had a theme, and it stuck with it, and although there was a little bit of that, like, nihilism, existentialism stuff, which, again, isn't bad, that's just something I'm not personally into and that I see a lot of everywhere, I think it did something original by, like, focusing on, I guess, the more existential side, or, like, the idea that you can continue on, you know what I mean, in some way, rather than just, like, oh, everything you did is pointless forever, sorry, you suck. And it's all about, like, how you handle it, was, like, the kind of big theme here.
Sort of message there. It's like, if it
I liked
even
it.
though it doesn't matter, like, you do your best.
Yeah, I mean, in a way it does matter. It's still a story,
Yeah.
and stories are all we have, and if everything's a story and they all matter, etc., you can derive meaning from that. Which I think is a much nicer and creative way to end than just, like, sorry, lol, you guys get owned by the library. Like, this is a very, like you said, positive, affirming ending. And a surprising end to the way it builds up throughout the whole article. I really like this one. Good job, Rounder. You are the best SCP author. You are Mr. 6000.
Well, he is. I can't deny it any longer. He is Mr. 6000. I'm sorry. I was so foolish for so long I didn't understand.
Yes, Mr. 6000, Rounder House. I feel weird with Rounder compared to talking to you, because, like, I know you, so, like, jokingly bugging you all the time is, like, normal. But I guess I don't know Rounder that well. Like, I try to jokingly bug him and talk to him at SCPD, but I don't want to feel like a weird, annoying fan. Like, I just want to treat him as, like, an equal. So I hope I don't come across that way. But I will say, Rounder, very cool guy. Very, very good author. And I'm surprised how good of an author he is for how young he is, you know? Not that, like, young people can't write, but, like, you know, for, like, being how young he is, crafting such, like...
He's a youngin'.
Exactly. Crafting such, like, immense and good stories with the amount of experience he has is just very impressive to me. And I am excited to see what he continues to make in the future. That said...
he's not going to get 7,000 because that's going to be fucking me.
Yeah, okay, sure. I'm sure that's...
I swear well, you know, I didn't even enter last time, so I didn't lose.
Yeah, okay. Cope.
I didn't lose. I wasn't in it. I couldn't have lost.
Everyone already knows 7,000 is going to be me. It's going to be the first article I write that stays on the wiki, and I'm going to win. Smile.
We need to get
Not really.
on the wiki. We need to get him 3 pages. We get him an alpha page.
There's no way I'll ever write a story long enough to win 1,000. I'm not a long SCP guy. I was working on one, but I've just been so busy it's been sitting, like, unedited for months in my sandbox. But, no, that being said, very, very good. I'm excited to see what the Wiki and Rounder continues to make.
Yeah. Well, I have to say, we have discovered SCP. We're caught up.
Yeah. We are officially able to read any article we want. No! No, don't you get it? The whole point of this was that there are only more stories. There's more to discover.
That was the ending.
No, there's more SCP to discover.
So I read them all.
You know what we could do? There are two paths, a path of red and a path of blue. The path of red is to continue reading SCP and to continue doing the thing that people watch our channel for.
This should be the final episode or not. I won't take your decisions into account. I'll just decide.
The path of blue. The path of blue is to start finding another fanfiction site like Royal Road or Creepypasta or whatever and changing the name of the podcast but keeping the episode numbers. And that's our new story.
This isn't going to happen. We're going to keep reading SCPs.
Okay, you had me scared. You kept saying this was our last one. I didn't know.
I said it once.
Well, in my head it happened. You said it was like You know how, like, in a movie, a character says something and then it echoes in their head?
Again, like, final episode.
Yeah.
Final episode.
Yeah, and I'm, like, shaking and crying and pissing. Anyway, because the last episode hasn't come out before this one, we are going to anticipate your comments. I'm going to make some guesses, and because the last episode will come up before this one, we'll be able to, Tan and I will be able to see if we're right. So, first, easy one, AnAnomalousWriter is going to make a comment that is related to an in-joke about what happens on the podcast. Calling that off the bat. You go next.
What were you saying? Sorry, I've spaced out.
We're anticipating comments on the last video.
I think Hamiltoe will say something like, "Oh, it's me, Hamiltoe."
Yeah, classic Hamiltoe comment. Comedy Man Kelp will write some sort of short story that ends in a punchline for a joke.
That we won't read.
Yeah.
Boris will say that he doesn't like 6000.
Yeah, yep. That is a Boris move. At least several people will recommend several SCPs that we will never read.
We'll get some recommendations.
Yeah, recommendations from Dino Tales, that's true. Alright, one more. Anticipate one more comment.
Yeah, we'll only get one more comment. Volga will say, "Great podcast, guys. I've been watching since day one, and I can't wait to see. I'm passing you all my subscribers."
By the way, Tanhoney, would you like to come on my show?
Exactly. He will say that word for word. He better.
Yeah, if he doesn't, then this future will be cancelled.
Don't tweet Volgan. Please don't tweet Volgan.
Actually,
I didn't mean it.
Don't tweet Volgan. Don't, like, be annoying. But if you know him, and he happens to be like, "Man, I wish I had a guest on
I like how you're saying like this. We have no line of contact with Volgan. Like, I know him.
Yeah, in my fan fiction where someone's friends with Volgan and he's looking for a guest and they volunteer.
It's like you're looking for like a free stage connection where like I just can PM Volgan.
Yeah, you can, but you won't.
Yeah, I won't.
You don't have the balls.
Exactly.
Can you please do it? Do it.
If we get 1 million views, I'll do it.
That's fucked up. We're not even at 100,000 yet. That's pretty fucked up, Tanhoney.
This one's going to go viral. I can tell. I've got a good vibe.
So I'm curious.
Hi, I'm
what's
Tam.
next?
We're going to keep reading SCPs. We've got access to everything now, so we can just read.
I know, but like, are we focusing on recommendations? Are we focusing on guest episodes? Are there like other articles you personally have yet to curate for me?
I'm going to announce what's next episode.
What?
Next episode, we'll be reading Spike Brennan.
Finally! I'm crying. Episode 90. Boris will finally be fulfilled. Over a year and a half later, finally, Boris vindicated.
Boris.
Do you think Boris will finally leave a happy comment again?
Maybe. Maybe he'll decide he doesn't like them, though. Maybe it'll put him off.
Yeah, he'd be like, "Actually, fuck the SCP. I'm going to watch something else now." Don't do that, Boris. We would cry for years. But I guess all stories must come to an end, and that includes ours. Anomalous do a really shitty CGI effect of a book closing as the podcast ends.
Thank you. I'm going to assume you did it. I don't watch these videos over, Anomalous, so I'm going to assume you did it.
Oh my god, that's so mean. Bye!